drones, and Tyler Rogoway. Come aboard. Let's get weird right now on the Unidentified Celebrity Review.
Unidentified.
Hello, good morning, good evening, good day, good afternoon. Hold on one second. And aloha. Welcome back to another live stream edition of the Unidentified Celebrity Review, your home for credible news, reviews, and commentary on everything UFOs and UAPs. My name's Luis Jimenez. Thank you so much for coming aboard and getting weird with me here today. Yes, you're not seeing double. You're not going crazy. This is my second live stream for the day. I'm a madman. I'm a crazy person. What can I say? No, I mean, this is where the direction of the channel's going. Things happen, and I'm going to talk about it as close to when they happen as possible, because I think that's where this topic is going, and I kind of want to be the first guy to not really do this. I mean, there are other daily shows. I'm not going to say, I'm the first guy to do this or anything like that, but out of the shows that I've listened to, podcasts, YouTube channels, I don't think anybody's going as live as many times as I am in one day. So that's new. That's fun. I'm going to try it. I think it's going to work. We'll see. I hope it doesn't annoy the hell out of everyone out there. I do have some friends that may or may not pop in. Who knows? I could do this whole show solo. So just stay tuned. You never know who might stop by. So earlier today, I did a call into the Senate. I went over the big phone home list. It was, I think, a very educational version of the Unidentified Celebrity Review. I just wanted to show you guys how to use the list, how to, I actually ended up using UAP Act Now too, because part of my list was there was a phone number missing, and I found a mistake, you guys. So I went to UAP Act Now. I went to the Senate, directory, and I got the number that I needed anyway. So it was all good. So it was a really fun exercise in showing you how to use all the websites, all the scripts, what to ask for, what to do if you're leaving a voicemail, which is more than likely what we're going to be doing. I'm going to answer this question because I'm getting it a lot, and I want to make sure that, you guys understand the reasons why. But I wanted to show you what we did when we left the voicemail versus when we talked to somebody versus, calling the local office versus calling the Washington, D.C. office. We called, I think, 4 or 5 different senators that were all on the Senate Intelligence Committee, Marco Rubio being one of them. We left messages at his office. Productive day. It took me probably a lot longer than normal because first, it's the first time I'm really using the list, and I'm also explaining it to people as I'm doing it. If I just did that by myself, I think I could have powered through the entire Senate Intelligence Committee in the time that it took me to do 5 for a live stream. So check out the list, download it at www.thebigphonehome.com, and utilize it. There are a lot of tools in this tool belt to make yourself active, to activate yourself and get the conversation going on more transparency on this topic. So let's take a look at the comments section. Of course, before we continue, do me a favor, like the channel, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, ring that bell, because these shows are going to be coming at you fast and furiously from now on. So I hope you're in on that. I hope you guys dig that. If you think it's too much, let me know. Because I want to get your feedback on all of these crazy shows I'm doing. So welcome to, let's see who's in the chat here. We've got Ethereal Aura. Welcome, my sir. It's okay that you missed the first show. We're doing another one, and he got to catch up on it. So that was cool too. I hope that helped. I hope that inspired you to make some calls on the 24th. And don't forget, guys, we're going to be doing the Big Phone Home Saturday, April 24th with co-host Michael Mataluni and I. And also want to say what's up to Tyler Zarannik. I hope I came close to pronouncing that right. Tyler Zarannik. So yeah, awesome stuff. Hold on one second. My girlfriend's texting me. She's grabbing me some Arizona iced tea is my favorite drink in the world. What do you guys think about that Arizona? It's like one of my faves, man. I love that. Big cans. Oh man. Pass. I'm texting my girlfriend in the middle of a show. I'm a maniac. Okay. Anyway, so here we go. So thank you guys for being here. So what are we talking about today? So today, actually last night, I wanted to actually do a show about this last night, but we literally just finished a live stream and it would have been like 15 minutes after that one that I would have been able to do another one. I was like, that's too crazy. So today I'm talking about, I'm going to share this screen here with you guys. The article that was dropped by Tyler Rogoway over at a digital magazine, from what I could tell, called The Drive. The Drive is pretty much a car review magazine with this sort of side effort called the War Zone. So the War Zone is this space on the website where they, kind of like the debrief, they produce military related magazine or articles and things like that. So there's like a bunch of articles here that have to do with a bunch of different kinds of things. Here, look, we could check it out real quick just because I want to give them a proper shout out. They've got B-1B bomber suffered significant engine damage while deployed in Norway. Like, okay, cool. Fire ravaged USS Bonhomme. Richard starts its death march to the scrapper. Okay, cool. These are interesting articles. I always love when I find stuff like this. I wasn't familiar with Tyler Rogoway. This is the first time I've ever read his stuff. So I was pleasantly surprised to find this website, right? So if you guys haven't heard of it, check it out because it's pretty cool. And also, if you're looking for a car, I think it can help you in that route too. Okay, so let's get on to the article I want to talk about. So we've got Tyler Rogoway. He dropped this yesterday. God, I wish he had just dropped this a little bit earlier. Hold on, loading up here. Rodrigo, what's shaking? Good evening, sir, from Portugal. Hola, ora. And plus the Drive never shy away from the UFO topic. No, it seems like they don't. And I can tell you, they have won me over. I am an immediate fan after reading this article. So here's the thing. I'm not going to read this article for you guys. It is literally a novel. I can't even explain to you how long this article is. It goes and goes and goes. It feels like it never ends. I'm sure I'm exaggerating. This is probably like a 5-minute read for most geniuses. But I spent a lot of time just taking in the information as slowly as I could because he's really laying out a timeline of what the hell is going on and what more than likely is happening on this UAP drones that we keep hearing about swarming our aircraft, swarming our military bases. I think this article really adds a lot of clarity, a lot of calmness, and a lot of just really great information. And so what do I mean by that? Well, Tyler Rogoway is laying out a big problem that specifically the Air Force, I think, is trying to avoid, according to him anyway. So over the years, everybody knows in this field that if you're a pilot, let's just blow up my screen here so you guys see me a little better. If you're a pilot and you see something weird in the sky, the chances of you reporting that are very, very slim. And the reason why is because of the stigma that has been constantly thrown at this topic since the 50s. So there is a real fear and problem not only recording the data of the things that these pilots see, but getting the data in the first place. The stigma is so high. And even though the Navy has changed their guidelines, it's still sometimes like pulling teeth. And if you do get a pilot that actually gets on a cockpit radio and puts that on a recording for everyone to then judge him on, because chances are that UFO reporting is going to turn into some kind of news, especially if it's on a commercial flight like we had with American Airlines. You better believe that they're not doing that because they think they're seeing a balloon or something very terrestrial. They're calling in because there's they're tracking things that are flying in their airspace and could be potentially dangerous to their craft. So because of this stigma, the Air Force has really, really put itself in it's painted itself into a corner, essentially, because what's happening now is you've got the Chinese government and the Russian government, and there are multiple ways on how they deploy these drones. They do it through shipping routes. I can tell you at Long Beach, there are thousands and thousands of ships that constantly come in and out of that port. And these drones that are being deployed into the skies are something you can make in your garage. They purposefully make them look like shitty drones and balloons because they know that if a pilot or if an army general or if a sergeant sees a fleet of these things, they're probably not going to say anything because they don't want to be laughed at. There's no area for these guys to come in and say, hey, I saw 3 or 4 things flying above the base. They looked really strange, and this is what they looked like, and take the report. And if you can match it with other data, even better. But the issue that we have here is that we've got these drones that look like balloons that have sensitive radar systems that are just sitting above aircraft carriers. They're sitting above our nuclear and military bases, and they're collecting data. They're just sitting there collecting data, and there's no way, our government doesn't have a way to neutralize those things. And even worse, they're not even getting the reports they should be getting because people are afraid to tell them about it. So this is a big problem, and he lays this out beautifully in this article. It is so awesome how he puts this out. Now, this is for some people, this is gonna come as a punch to your gut or as a some sort of declaration against your belief that the UFO swarming thing is bullshit, that there's nothing to it, it's just drones. That's not what he says in this article. He is advocating for a system to log and catalog these things so that we can start classifying these handmade, backyard-made drones that could be being produced by spies within our country, which is not possible. It's likely happening. It is a very scary scenario if you get somebody that has infiltrated the United States and has the ability to make these drones swarm, and you put small payloads and fly that over Santa Monica Pier. You've got a big problem. And that's exactly what's happening now. And instead of calling these things what they are, the Navy, the title of this article is called "Adversary Drones Are Spying on the U.S. and the Pentagon Acts Like They're UFOs." They're pitching, they're telling people it's UFOs so that way nobody gets in trouble. It's just a problem they're trying to sweep under the rug because they don't want to answer questions as to these are more than likely Chinese and Russian drones. It's a problem. Especially since 9/11, if you were around for that event, could you imagine something like this happening again on U.S. soil? from swarms of drones that we don't know how to take down. We have like Eagles and things that can take some drones down and things like that, but there's no active missile systems. There's no defense systems to combat these handmade drones. And they're collecting really sensitive information on on how our military operates. And nobody says anything but says, oh, it's just a balloon. Or, oh, well, that looks weird. What about the little antennas and shit hanging out? It's just a balloon. Don't worry about it. Like, they don't even want to talk about it. So they're kind of digging their own hole here. But what Tyler Rogoway is calling for is a system, a way to start cataloging these things and drop the fucking stigma already. We need to get rid of this because this is going to bite us in the ass. Because right now, nobody's taking this seriously because they think it's a bunch of UFOs. And here's the thing, Tyler Rogoway leaves the window open just as much as a Stanton Friedman left the window or the door open for this phenomena to be real. He's not saying that UAPs, like unidentified, unclassified, very strange things to look at that cannot be explained, are 100% real. And it is a possibility that we have more data and more information on those real incursions. But the majority of these things, just like Stanton Friedman said, he would say, and I said this in the last live stream, some of these objects are genuine UFOs. Some. Underline it, underscore it, capitalize it, circle it with a big red pen. Some. So some of these drone swarms, okay, that are happening on the USS Kidd and all of these other ships are more than likely Russian or Chinese drones. That's the most logical explanation. But in some cases, they're not. And that's also a problem. And that's something we need to start discussing. And that's why, according to Mr. Rogoway, you're starting to see this conversation happen on a political level because they know what's really happening, but they don't want to share it because it's embarrassing as shit. It's embarrassing, especially to the Air Force. So, this is an example of a drone that could fly in a swarm. But what is scary about this is how this is like a warfare. For example, here's a picture of a drone that, let's see if I can make it a little bigger. Hold on. Let's see. There we go. This is a picture of essentially a drone. What does this look like? A cube within a sphere. Where have we heard this before? You know what I mean? Like, these are very unconventional, very strange looking things. And I'm not saying that pilots can't tell the difference in most cases. But what the problem is that if they see something that they don't identify as normal aircraft and it's a fucking drone made in somebody's backyard and it looks like a toy or something, they're probably not going to report it. That's the problem. That's the underlying issue here. So it's not that these pilots aren't telling the truth, especially in David Fravor's case, because these things are doing movements that don't fit drones and balloons like this. But there are drones that come out of the water. Those things are real. There are drones. I mean, the beautiful thing about this article is that he really gives you a wonderful definition of drones. Because when you and I think of drones, when most people think of drones, they think of, like something with propellers on it, something that flies through the sky like a jet. That's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to different drones and different technologies that different countries are using to make these drone systems. It's insane. And they've got, I mean, the videos that they have, I mean, this is like a military parade of a runway full of the different kinds of drones that I think this is Iran is building. Iran military launches exercises with hundreds of drones. Like this is, I'm not trying to scare you with this, and that's not the tone of this article, not at all. The tone is that it does have an underlying tone of this should scare you, because it should. Because again, that idea of a swarm drone floating over Santa Monica Pier and dropping chemical agents, doesn't have to be bombs. Like this can, 10 drones could cause some major havoc, and there's no way that the Air Force is combating these kinds of problems. You know, we're not talking about DJI drones or like the kind of drone I have, these, readily available drones. We're talking about balloons with highly sophisticated equipment that sometimes has routers that are connected to other drones. Like it's a floating flotilla of information gathering systems that are computing information in real time over the internet back to the enemy. Like this is a problem. And I cannot recommend this article enough. I'm trying to look. I mean, he ends this with a really, like, look at this. Look at this video. This is like some Chinese drone launching system. And of course, I don't think, one of these trucks are sitting in the United States right now. But just check this out. Like this is, look at this thing. Look at this thing. These are drones. It's popping out. Wait till it pops to another angle. Look at that. What? And then this is a helicopter that's dropping drones from a parachute. Some of these things look a little weird. And then a flying drone will pop out of that parachute. Look at this. I mean, just really unconventional. And then now this is them swarming. You can't really tell because you guys have got a much smaller view than I do. Let me remove my. It's pretty wild, man. And I mean, he just used, and look at, these are the systems that, these little drones could carry some big payloads, You have 10 or 15 of these things flying over a major city or a military base. It's going to cause some damage, man. Yeah, I mean, these three pictures, according to him, could very well be these kinds of drones. And the reason why they're starting to leak is because they want to make other pilots and people aware of what these things are going to start looking like here in the next, from now for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. They're going to make them look weird because they know our weakness is stigma. They're taking advantage of our weakness. They're taking advantage of the fact that we can't communicate this problem well enough to our citizens and our intelligence communities. They are taking advantage of that. And this article points out that beautifully. So, and the thing, there's a lot of also, like, for example, the reason why I know this, right? Why I have a good feeling about this. First of all, you guys have been saying a whole bunch of stuff. Oh man. Okay. I get excited. I get passionate about this stuff because I know some people are really upset with this, and you shouldn't be. This is a good thing. Like I'm going to go over some things that people said on Twitter about this article. And I think some folks, kind of took this in and they're like, oh, how dare you? How dare you? It's like, nah, man, like we're trying to get to the truth here. And if the truth is that a majority of these things, when we hear about swarms of drones, are actually that, I want to know that's what it is, and that it's not a UAP. It's not something anomalous that everybody here wants to really know about, right? So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. Sometimes my excitedness comes across as anger, but I'm not angry because I got these eyebrows. I'm not angry, I promise. But thank you for the comment, Madrid. We're getting a laugh out of this. Allegedly, U.S. adversaries are using drones which emulate UAP design configurations while enabling them to fly with impunity amongst U.S. naval vessels and Air Force aircraft, gathering intelligence. Exactly. Exactly. And it's signal data as our military apparatus has standing orders not to fire on the UAP. Right. Because here's the thing. If you're a couple miles off the coast of Catalina and you start unloading cannons and real live fire rounds in U.S. waters, the bullets that miss, they're going to have to come down somewhere. God forbid if one of them hits a boat or a shipping vessel of some kind. Now you've got an even bigger issue. So that's the problem. The reason why we're not firing at these things is for that reason. And because that's just lunacy. There should be a way. EMP technology, counter drone systems. They're like also, there should be ways that we should be able to disable, drones that are put together with party balloons, fishing string, and toilet paper, and then attached, a $30,000, $40,000, listening device. Like there should be ways to combat that kind of garbage. Holy shit, man! Are you improvising? Damn, that's a good speech. Yes, I'm not writing any of this. You kidding me? I don't have time to write. Right on this show, I'm doing 2 live streams a day. Good Lord, man. No. Nobody's writing any of this. I am an improviser by trade. Sup, y'all? Rogoway got your no, Rogoway ain't got us down, man. Rogoway got us up. And let me point to you a couple of Twitter tweets that I found today. Very interesting. The first is from Danny Silva. So let's share this right here because I thought this was really cool. And I'm sorry, God, this is coming in so small. Here's what I'm going to do. There we go. Okay. So let's see where Danny has this tweet. By the way, if you want to buy a skirt with Danny Silva's logo on it, I think he's got it for sale now. Pretty sure that's a joke. Let's see here. I don't want to. Okay, yeah, here we go. So Danny Silva said about Tyler Rogoway in this article, Tyler is a very smart guy and a friend. I don't have to co-sign everything he says to know this is an important article. Everyone in the UFO community should read it so we understand all sides and opinions. My take, I think some sightings are drones, etc., and some are legit. Agreed. That's a wonderful take. I mean, it's such a damn good take. Okay, so let's check out Lou Elizondo because he also tweeted about this. I don't know if it was in direct. Let's just look. I don't know if it was in direct. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't have the article pinned to this comment, but I'm assuming this comment is in regards to this article. Drones, ? In some cases, most certainly yes. In other cases, absolutely not. It is for this precise reason why we need a well-funded and enduring capability to collect, analyze, and determine the exact nature of these things. It is here, it is real, and it is now. I mean, what? That's an amazing, amazing tweet. As a matter of fact, it's so amazing. I retweeted it twice, and the second time I pinned it to my profile, and I wrote, so nice, I'm tweeting it twice. We are looking for diamonds in the rough. We are looking for diamonds in the rough. Stay focused, stay hungry, think critically, and engage yourself. That's what we have to do. It's just what we have to do. I mean, look at this. Check this out. Hello, my darling. Welcome home. Let's see. Where is Christopher Mellon? Okay. Christopher Mellon retweeted this article and wrote, Tyler Rogoway does a great job in this in-depth article of elucidating. Chris Mellon, you and your $50 words. Does a great job in this in-depth article elucidating the reasons why everyone should care about the strange, anomalous incidents involving hashtag UAPs and the U.S. military. Tyler Rogoway has hit on something here. And if he hadn't, this guy would not be tweeting about it. He's hit on something. And that's why this article is so damn good, because a lot of people are backing it up, and for damn good reasons. I cannot recommend for you to read this article enough. I've got the link for this article in the description below, so check it out. Let's catch up on some comments. Let's see what you guys are saying. Okay, so here we go. Just in case. What about terrorists using drones to spread Ebola in a sports stadium during a Super Bowl or rock concert? Possible with this kind of drone technology. UAPTF report would need to show that two things are occurring. First, that they have evidence some UAP is off-world. And secondly, that they also have data that our adversaries are effectively emulating. 1,000,000% agreed on that, Nick. Very, very good point. UAP vehicle configurations to infiltrate signals data of the U.S. military assets. In my opinion, I agree with that opinion. The motivation for creating a phony UFO story to cover real Chinese incursions doesn't check out with me. Well, Matthew, I would ask you, did you read this article? If you read this article and you came away with that conclusion, you know, that's your conclusion. I did not come away with that conclusion, and that's not what this article is saying. The motivation is not to create phony UFO stories. That is the motivation to create the embarrassment of revealing what these things really are. And it's also helps with actually, you know, covering for real UFO stories. It's like it works two ways. So it muddies the waters for everything. This article is not saying that that's the motivation behind the military. It is, like I said, it leaves the door open for this phenomena to be valid, because it is a valid phenomena, because there are, you know, pilots when pilots are chasing these things in an F-18 and they can't catch them. That is a completely different story. Hold on one second. My girlfriend's like rumbling a bag here. What's going on? Can you not rumble that bag? Sorry. Okay. Sorry. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. So here we go. Matthew. Elizondo always defaults to trust me, bro. I've seen some shit. Well, I mean, unfortunately, that's kind of the position he's in. He's signed an NDA, even though he's really flirted with that NDA a lot. But I would not be surprised if his main mission to get this conversation going is to reveal this part of it as well. He could be working for both things. He could be working to, as a goal, to get more transparency on the, you know, on that 1% that we really want, that really awesome hardcore data, and then everything else, you know, with this, you know, crazy drone swarm technology that we're talking about, the Chinese and the Russians are doing to spy on us and possibly attack us later down the road. I think he also wants that to be talked about. I don't think it's a bad thing if we can have the conversation about both. There's room for both in this in this arena. So that's all I would say is, just try and be patient. I know this is not the information that everybody wants, but this is information that really, 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 really speaks to our cause. It really does. Like, it really does. So that's why I say you should just read the article. Both may be going on. Yeah, I mean, that is also possible. If they're able to show two things, it's going to look like a catastrophic failure in military intelligence. Well, that's essentially, what 9/11 was. It was a catastrophic failure in military intelligence. And if they can do it once, it can happen again. And I think that's what, Jesus. That is what Mr. Tyler Rogoway is yelling. He's screaming at the top of his lungs, through this article. It's a scary thing. We got to really, really start thinking about this. Yeah, this only explains the 2019 incursions, in my opinion. I agree 100%. But also in this article, he does say that some of these, the other three videos, as good as they are, they can also, and people have shown this, those videos can be explained in some cases. I still hold on to the witness testimony of 4 pilots as sort of, hey, that's something you should really pay attention to. The only problem with video is that it's really hard to pull a lot of great data for video. And it's honestly, as a community, it should be the last thing we're asking for is video proof of aliens or photographic proof of aliens. We've discussed this many times. If it's too good, it's CGI. If it's shitty, it's fake, So that's the problem with photographs. We need something more tangible, more data driven than photographs, unless of course those photographs are corroborated by other cameras from other angles. That's something different, that would be a lot cooler. Let's see here. Drones are unmanned, aerial, ground, and hydro vehicles. Yeah, no, they've got all sorts of unmanned vehicles, water vehicles, ground vehicles, air vehicles. It's insane, man. It's absolutely nuts, either remotely or standalone operated. They've got both, that's what's crazy. Matt, I think the bottom line is eliminating the stigma inside the military. I cannot like this comment enough. That's exactly what this article is about. Eliminating the stigma for within the military so we could start seriously talking about the weird shit in the sky and stop talking about it with a chuckle or a grin on our face. Like, this is a serious topic. And the only way our military representatives and state and local representatives are going to know that we want them to take this seriously is if we tell them. Join us April 24th, 2021, the big phone home. One drone can wipe out 2/3 of the USA's population. That would have to be, I think, a pretty big drone. Maybe, I don't know. It depends. Maybe you're right, especially when it comes to like a biological warfare. That could easily be, I'm thinking of a bomb, like, of course, because that's the first place you think when you think of a drone. But a drone doesn't have to be that crazy. It doesn't have to be that complicated or insane to be destructive. So you make a good point, Justin. I mean, that's true. At first I was like, wait a second, 2/3. But then, yeah, if you're talking about a biological element, hell yeah. Like, yeah, that could happen. Autonomous intel gathering drones are awesome. I agree. I think drones are awesome, period. They're just a fun technology to look at and play with. I love flying my drone, although I'm also terrified by it because I crashed it once. So anyway, that's a whole nother story. But make no mistake, the reports about UAPs, some in there may be one thing or another. Elizondo says we are seeing publicly is just the tip of the iceberg. Agreed. We need more data. We just need more data. That's the bottom line. Everyone needs more. But we already knew that, of course. Yes. This study is really up my alley. Good. I'm glad that this gets your gears going because again, as soon as this show's over, you gotta need to do one of two things: either read this article or go check out Christina Gomez's live stream with Brian Sprague, which, by the way, I linked in the description below, and I'm going to talk about it once we get closer to this live stream, which will be in about 20 minutes, maybe less. I don't know, getting kind of tired, but here we go. Yeah, my best judgment says not to trust the TTSA guys, but I'd rather believe they were full of shit versus incompetent. I hear what you're saying. I would say take this approach. Play it by ear. Make judgments on the TTSA guys as their actions play out. Right now, I haven't seen anything from Lou Elizondo specifically that tells me he's a liar or someone who's looking to deceive. Haven't seen it, at least not yet. If I'm presented with new information, especially publicly about that, maybe I'll change my tune. But I'm trying to reserve judgment for any man or woman based on their actions. What have they been doing? What have they been saying? What of those actions? What are the ramifications of those actions? How has it affected people? Things like that. And like I said, I can't see anything yet. But if there are actions later on down the road that require me to say something like that, then I'll say it. But I just don't see it yet. But I'm glad we could talk about it. There's a movie called Angel Has Fallen where the president is attacked by swarms of drones. Highly recommended. Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about. Is that the Gerard Butler movie? The modern day Battle of LA, people died from shrapnel and heart attacks. That's true. That is very true. But I mean, man, if those were drones back then, that would be weird. But that is true. A lot of people did die from shrapnel and heart attacks when that happened. God, I never even thought about that. Good point. Corporations are already in the way with drone catching technologies, the signal jamming and electronic takedown tech. Yeah, but they're really far behind. They're really far behind, especially if in 2019 you've got swarms of these things hovering above an entire fleet of ships. And maybe the swarms of these things over the USS Kidd were not drones. Maybe they were actual anomalous UAPs. But until I 100% can confirm that with other footage, just testimony, things like that. It's not to say that footage is not wonderful. I loved it, but I'm going to take it for what it is and move on. Waiting for more data. That's my attitude. Just constantly waiting for more data. But yeah, I'm sure there are these techs. I agree with you for sure. But they need to do a lot of work to catch up to what the hell's going on. And by that time, it might be too late. So we'll see. Jacques Vallée's Forbidden Science, Tome 3, Special Ops uses helicopters disguised as UFOs to spy nuclear installations in the 80s. Yeah, no, we do this, by the way, we do this to other countries all the time. We spy on other countries with drones all the time. This is nothing new. It is new to experience that from the other way around. I feel like that's not, especially, 20 miles off the coast or even closer. Some cases over in the mainland, like just well within the mainland. Excuse me. Live burp. See, I can't edit these things out anymore. So I apologize. Read a lot about a drone tech interfering with them. Please share with me. Do me a favor. Send me the links in the Twitter. I thought they already had like laser cannons to knock them out. They don't. And that's why you need to read this article, Matthew, because it lays out all of the reasons why this should be a concern for people. We don't have laser cannons. This isn't a Mission Impossible 3 movie. Like, we don't have all of this sophisticated tech that people think about. It's just not there, especially on some things it definitely is. On some things, it's not. And this is one of the things, it's It's not. We're very far behind when it comes to stuff like this. If we take down the UFO imposters, we can focus on the genuine ones. Agreed. 100% agreed. They do have radio beam tech to interfere with the comms and M-tech to neutralize them and catching methods. They do, but they're not enough. They're not enough. And they're not equipped on every boat either. So think about that. Like, we're talking about a lot of ships, a lot of cargo ships. I mean, there's so many ways to sneak these things over places that just aren't caught up yet. And that's the issue, you know? So it's all about identifying them for sure. And there are ways that we can listen in and figure out, you know, who's controlling these drones. We can figure that stuff out, especially when they show up. And part of them not firing on these drones is also, hey, let's see what they do. Let's see what kind of information they're trying to get, because that's also intel. It's counter intel, baby. Counter intel. Just all sorts of intel flying everywhere. So, you know, here we go. I'm a big fan of elucidating. I got to look up that. Honestly, I can't think of what the definition of that word offhand, but I like saying it. Elucidating. I'm assuming it's to enlighten, but I could be wrong. LOL. Okay, so they love yelling about China. Seems like a great opportunity. Hey, man, China is a problem. It's a big problem. No, I don't want to get political. I can say a lot of things about China, but I'm not going to go there. But we need to pay attention. That's all I'm going to say. Lots of countries are spying on each other, including the U.S. doing it. Yep, just said that. ET or China. I'm going to say it's more of one and way less of the other. You can guess which. The Nimitz case is a clear case due to the amount of pilots, radar, personnel statements. I agree. I agree with that. The Nimitz is a diamond in the rough. That is a diamond in the rough case. The Aguadilla footage is a diamond in the rough case. Those are the ones I'm going to lean on and really point to. And when they start getting better than that, then I'll start replacing those two videos. Those are my favorite videos. Okay. Those are my favorite. Outside of those, I just need more data. Drones are male honeybees. Fair. I love flying my drone too, man. I'm so far behind on these comments. So far behind. TTS who? All right. Let's you guys are okay. Let's see here. Tic Tacs are ours. They could be. It wouldn't shock me. Look, it would not shock me if the U.S. military has cracked some pretty crazy propulsion tech. Wouldn't shock me whatsoever. So yeah, that's not a crazy statement, I think. Government involved in unraveling UAP mysteries. Why isn't Silicon Valley and academia tweet I just dropped on your feed would probably be a good discussion. Agreed. Hey, look, that's why we're having the big phone home, you know, to start having these discussions in a lot more forums and a lot more often. It's the whole point of this channel. So, you know, I'm glad that you just dropped in. I'm glad you found it. I'm glad you're in on it. That's an NBC News story that dropped today. Good read. Let's see here. I don't have the articles ready, but I've seen the docs about the tech, but I agree military doesn't have them everywhere. And there are also the real UAPs you can't catch. Agreed. Might come from the Latin root lux for light. There you go. I mean, I did say enlighten, right? I think I did. My favorite UFOs videos are Billy Myers, but they're fake, sadly. I'm so happy you said that. I was worried there for a second, Rodrigo. I was like, oh no, man, I hope he's not a Billy Meyer believer, but that's okay if you are. I still love you. I'm glad you're not. So, okay, you guys, before I go, I wanted to point you in a direction here. So you guys, if you're still bored, if you're still looking for some great UFO content, to check this out. This is Christina Gomez. She's going live with my other good buddy, Ryan Sprague, on her Shifting the Paradigm UFO chat. She's already got 8 people waiting in this show. I'm going to give her the thumbs up. So yeah, Brian Sprague is one of the coolest dudes I've ever met in this field. He's the sweetest person in the world, and he works his ass off, and his perspectives are amazing. And Christina is like this meteoric shooting star. She's just really, really asking some great questions for a young kid. I don't want to call her kid, a young woman. She's really, 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 really doing some good stuff, and people are noticing. So that's why I want to push you to this channel, because she's killing it. She's going to be doing a live stream chat with him. I'll probably hop over there. I don't know. I have a feeling I'm going to have to cook some dinner. We'll see. I have a feeling somebody's hungry, because I've been doing a lot of live streams, been ignoring my lady, and I'm sure she wants my attention. Babe, do you want my attention?
No, I'm good, thanks.
See, she loves me. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. By the way, Christina's link to the show is in the description below. So if you want to check it out, I'm going to try and join. I'll be in the chat, talking it up, asking some questions. I was trying to see if I could could take it, Lou. I was trying to see if what? Oh, I was trying to see if your heart could take it, Lou. Oh, okay. Whew. No, come on, man. What are you doing here? There ain't no need for that. There's no need for that. I have her show open too. Might be switching between yours and hers. Oh no, mine's going to end. Mine is ending specifically so you don't have to do that. Okay. That's why I'm ending my show, because I don't want to overlap this lady. I don't want to take away any of her thunder. We've got a Twitter chat room where, both of these folks are in there. And I always ask people, hey, doing a last minute show, you want to join me? And if they do, cool. If they don't, cool, man. I want to send the invite out there, because I always love bouncing ideas off of the people that I think are smartest in this field. And these are 2 of them right here. So that's why this show is ending right before hers starts. So don't sweat it, Aura. You don't have to do that. Let's see here. Take a break. Take care. I'm going to do that. Bye. Enjoy your weird beverage. My weird beverage. All right. That's my girlfriend. That's my cue, you guys. She's hungry. I'm out of here. All right, you guys. So thank you so much for joining me here on another episode of the Unidentified Celebrity Review. Before we go, I want to say thank you to the sponsor, BlueMarlinChronicles.com, purveyors of the world's finest fishing tackle since 1995. I know, a UFO channel talking about fishing tackle, but hey, they're our sponsor. What can I do? And of course, I want to say thank you to DOS Tapes. They provide all of the music you hear on the show. Their SoundCloud link is in the description below. Don't forget to check out the Drive article. Honestly, it's a must read. Check it out in the description below. I also included that link. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out on Twitter. Live streams happen all the time, so smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most importantly, ring that bell. That way you are notified anytime these live streams go down. And also you'll be notified for, of course, our big event on April 24th. Co-host Michael Mataluni and I, the Big Phone Home, we're going to be starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We're going to be calling all day. 8 hours, 8-hour live stream. All right. So we'll be calling at least a half hour every hour. And in between that, we'll be having guests on, we'll be having friends on, we'll be talking UAPs, activism, and steps moving forward, and things that we could do to be successful in the future. So thank you guys so much for coming aboard, getting weird with me here on another episode of the Unidentified Celebrity Review. Until next time, you guys, peace.
Unidentified. Unidentified.